Hey there, amplifiers. Thanks for tuning in. And we've got some great content here for you today. We're talking about the hidden ingredient every business misses when it comes to consistent referrals. So you definitely want to tune in. We're going to be talking real stuff, actionable insights, and we have some free giveaways. With me today is Manny Torres.
Hey, everybody.
And so let's get right into it. Uh, a lot of businesses, they thrive off referrals, right? So if you're a business owner, you want to grow your business, one of the best ways to do that is through referrals. But a lot of people are missing a key ingredient that just prevents them from getting the consistent results. And sometimes they might get referrals, but they are not the ideal referrals. And that just isn't that great. Thanks for the referral to your Aunt Flossie, who is looking to save as much money as possible. I really appreciate that referral. Like the
Yeah,
name
I do that
Flossie.
all the time.
So, Manny, let's talk about this. Why are referrals so important to make um, consistent? What's the benefit of doing it with consistency?
Well, let me start off by saying most businesses don't have consistent referrals. And when you ask them how they build their business, they're like, most of my clients come from referrals, which is great because that's where we want it, right? It's people that are in tune with what you do. They are already ready to take action. But the challenge is, as you stated, they're not happening consistently. And the problem with that is you can't grow a business on hoping when a new referral is going to come in. You really need a better way to make sure that you're getting those on a reliable, consistent basis.
And so we're going to be giving some resources away, um, so the and some information here in this session today, so you'll know why your referrals aren't consistent and the missing ingredients you can start putting into action to start achieving consistent results. Now we're excited to celebrate. We just kicked off a new challenge. It is a referral maximizer challenge. You can go to growthamplifiers.com/challenge, opt in. It's a punchy, meaning a tight challenge that gives you the direct actions to follow that you can immediately begin implementing and start getting more quality referrals on a consistent basis. So if you're tired of chasing leads around, if you're tired of getting crummy referrals, we invite you to come to this challenge and participate in it. It's free, it's actionable, and giving some of the best advice that we have. And we're giving this away to build value with other coaches, advisors, and consultants. So that's growthamplifiers.com/challenge. And now let's talk about what is the missing ingredient. What is the missing ingredient? Let's talk about it right up front.
Yeah. So I mentioned hope, right? And typically when you're hoping, you're guessing, you're winging it, right? And the missing ingredient is that you don't have a system, you don't have something to create that consistency. And that's that missing ingredient because when you do have a system, not only do you start to build a little bit of consistency, you're also being able to do something that you can optimize. And that ties into our amplified growth system. We're always looking for ways that we can improve and elevate what we're doing.
So we have created in this challenge a way for you. We're giving you our best advice, templates, tools, and resources to create a referral system. And we want to give that away. We're looking to build not rapport. And so you want to have a documented system. A documented system is something that you can share with your team, that you can follow, you can optimize to get consistent results. Now, when you're following a process, this will help you stay focused. Here's the thing: a lot of times people can get distracted by all these different things that are going on, all these different apps, all this AI, all this technology. They're getting caught up in the mix. What is business? What creates business? It's the relationship of people. People. Business is between people. And I believe that you could probably significantly grow the size of your business with more ideal clients and customers simply by having a way of better communicating to your existing clients and advocates who your ideal customer is and how you provide value to them, making it really easy for them to make referrals. So let's start talking about that system. We're going to share right now. Let's start talking about what is part of the system. What are the things that they need in order to really make sure that they're doing things consistently?
Yeah, I think one of the key starting points is really drilling down into who that ideal customer is, because you mentioned you need that process. And part of that process is really understanding who you're speaking to and what their challenges are. And that's also going to help you when you're communicating to someone that's going to be able to provide that referral. So they're not passing. Who was it that you said the relative passed over Flossie, right? So if you're asking for anyone, chances are you're going to get probably someone that's anyone, right? But if you're getting very specific about who you're looking to speak to, what triggers you may be looking for, what that person looks like, both in terms of their demographics and their psychographics, it's going to make it a lot easier for those partners to identify and be able to pass the right person over to you.
So getting really clear on who your ideal customer is. If you're not making it super, super easy for your clients, then and you're going to make them do all the work, then chances are it's not going to happen. Actually, let's take a step back. Number one, if you're not even asking for referrals, if you're not even asking for introductions, then you're missing every shot you don't take, right? Wayne Gretzky. So the first thing is you want to make sure that part of this system, part of this process is to integrate it into how you show up. One of the blocks that people have when it comes to asking for referrals is they think, I'm going to put people on the spot. I'm going to have to ask them to do something. And I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. Here's the thing. Do you believe in the value that you provide? You should. If you're putting it out there, you got to believe in what you do. And if you believe in what you do and you know it provides value and your clients are happy because you've helped them, then all you're asking them to do is helping you share the value you provide to people that they know so that you can help them as well. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it to help others. You're doing it to serve your mission. So flip the switch. Know that you're not looking to ask just to get more for yourself. You're looking to share your mission. And your clients that you've helped really provide more value. They're happy to do that. They want to help you because you've helped them. And they want to help their clients. This obviously wouldn't work if you have a client that isn't that great of a client. You need to find your ideal clients and talk to them. Integrate it as part of your culture. All right, so I'm getting on my caffeine is kicking in pretty good. So we talked about, number one, you've got to get in the mindset that I'm here to share, serve my mission. Number two, we talked about the importance of having an ideal customer, right? You need to be able to communicate who that ideal customer is and share that with your person that you're trying to get to refer you and make that introduction so that they know who to look for, who to think of. And then let's talk about the next thing you need to have as part of your referral system for consistent referrals.
Yeah. And, you talked about some of the action, right? Making the ask. And that's a great point because, like, if you don't ask, you're not going to get the result. And a lot of people are looking at results, but they're like, feel like there's no way of knowing how to get that. But the truth is, if you have some actions that you're taking, you can get those results. So what we want to make sure that we're starting off with is we've got to have a goal, right? If we don't have a goal, how do you know if you're winning or losing, right? It's just like sports. There's no scoreboard. Once you have that goal, now you can start to track some of those results and some of the actions that you're taking. So creating a simple scorecard, just so you know what's happening, right? So if we're asking 10 clients a month and we find out that we get one referral, hey, what happens if we ask 20, right? So you can start to identify how much action is it going to take for us to identify how many results we're getting. So those would be some of the key elements that we want to make sure that we're getting into this plan.
Have goals and track your actions, track the results you're getting. That way you can optimize and make sure you're getting better and better. Now, in the challenge that we are sharing with you, growthamplifiers.com/challenge, you can get access to the training. We'll walk through each step. We'll give you tools. We'll give you templates, and you'll leave with a plan that you can start implementing. Again, we have the goal of sharing this with 100 advisors, consultants, and coaches so that we can build rapport. We have a specific knowledge and expertise when it comes to optimizing marketing and sales. And there's a lot of other advisors and coaches out there that don't have that particular expertise. So we want to build friends. And that's a way that we're sharing to care, to build relationships. So the point is to have a goal, to have clarity, and then track so that you can make sure are the actions that you're taking helping you achieve the result. Now, another thing where we think it's helpful to start with is scripts. Why do you think it's so important to use something like a script, Manny?
I think it helps disarm some of the anxiety that you're having going into it, right? So a lot of times people will say, hey, I don't know what to say. And as you were mentioning before, they don't want to bother their client. But if you can have a script that's pretty simple and straight, that's going to give you a mechanism that you can lean on as you're going into that conversation. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. It can be very succinct. And the great part about that is you can share it with your team. And then as you start to use it and you see how it's working, once you get comfortable with that, now you can make adjustments, right? We talked about systematic amplification, which means you're optimizing. So down the road, if you have a script, you can improve. But if you're just winging it every time, you never know what's working and what's not.
Yes. So even if reading from a script is not your thing, having a script that you can follow, so you know this is approximately what I'm going to say, and I'm consistent with that. You don't have to read the script, but you should say, this is how I'm going to communicate and be consistent with it. Now, in this links, if you're watching this video, chances are the links, we're going to give you a link to opt in to get our custom GPT to help you craft the scripts that you can use and your team can use to confidently ask for referrals and confidently communicate what your referees can say to make those introductions. So if you can make it really easy for them, so they don't have to think, they don't have to work, make it really easy for them and come in with the right mindset, I believe that a lot of accountants, coaches, advisors can probably double their business without a lot of work if they just did a better job communicating who they serve, how they served, and asked for introductions. I just want to step in that introductions thing real quick because I'm kind of talking back and forth between referrals and introductions. And I think there's nuance. I'm kind of using them back and forth, but meaning when I'm saying those two terms, how are you perceiving them different?
Yeah. So obviously a referral is someone that has a need and maybe they've either stated a problem or challenge or goal that they want to achieve. And someone knows a person that can help them with that, right? So that would be a referral, a qualified referral, I would say. Now, an introduction is a step down from that, right? So it could be someone that is aligned in terms of who they are. And maybe they do have that need, but maybe they haven't said so yet. Or maybe it's a problem or a goal that they haven't identified yet. But an introduction to someone that could be of value to them can uncover some of those opportunities, help with some of those bottlenecks, and be able to move that person forward in a way that provides value. So an introduction doesn't have to have that, they asked for this and they really need it. It's a little more subtle. It's a little more general, and you can apply it to more people.
That's pretty much it right there. One of the challenges we have as optimization specialists, we're going in there, finding the blind spots people didn't know that they had, the bottlenecks they may not be aware of, and untapped opportunities. A lot of times our best customers are doing good already, but they don't even know what they don't know. They don't know they have opportunity that's untapped. So they're not out there saying, hey, who do you know that could help me do the things that I don't know that I'm not doing or solve the problems that I don't know what I have? So it's sometimes hard to get referred to those people because they're not simply asking. For example, a tax planner. We work with tax planners, profit coaches, different advisors in the accounting space. Sometimes they're going to have trouble getting referred to someone. They could use their help because the business owner that might be overpaying in taxes doesn't know they need tax planning. They're not going around saying, hey, I need to do tax planning. I need to do something I'm really not even aware of. So if they're not putting it out there, it's going to be hard to get that referral. However, an introduction if you're looking to connect with a certain profile, there's certain types of ideal clients that you're trying to connect with. They typically have this challenge. Many of them don't even know that they have that challenge. If you can get introduced and share with them and give them an awareness of some of the things that they may not even know, you can turn contacts into conversations, into consultations, and ultimately to clients. And this really works with coaches, advisors, and consultants because they have expert knowledge that they can help people see things differently. So I just wanted to take that step between referrals and introductions. You can ask, hey, who do you know that needs expert tax planning? May never find a lot of people referring because they're not saying they need that. But you'd say, who do you know that fits this particular profile style? They have these personalities, they're this level of a business, and they're in this industry, and you can get introduced to those people and build your network and watch it grow. Now let's talk real quick about, a lot of people say, I kind of know this information. And I like to say, it doesn't matter what you know, it matters the actions you take. And more importantly, if you're getting the result. If you're not getting the result of consistent referrals that are great referrals, then you've got a gap in your process. And let's talk about sports, meaning you're a lot into sports and you do water polo, and you know the difference between someone could say, I know what to do in water polo. A lot of people don't. Talk to us about the difference between knowing what to do and actually getting the result.
Yeah. And, that's what a lot of athletes, especially younger athletes, they complain about. It's like, why do we keep doing these basic things, right? I just want to play. But the challenge is, if you're not getting those habits in place where you're doing the same actions and working on those and making them second nature to you, when you get into a game, when things are moving around, you're not able to do that without thinking. So you're going to miss the opportunity. And the same is true as in business. If we're not creating the systems where we're taking these actions on a consistent basis, when those opportunities come around, you're not putting those steps in place to maximize those opportunities, and you're going to miss the reward, the goal. And that's the big thing that happens in sports. It's not about the big play. It's not about, hey, I got this awesome referral once. It's about consistently doing the small things that lead to small wins consistently over time, and also bigger wins. But consistency is much better than one-off big wins.
I know something that concerns people is like pestering people to always get referrals. And that's not what we're suggesting to do. In the challenge we walk you through creating the system, it's more just about lightly educating and reminding people, here's who we're looking to connect with, how we provide value, here's how to make it really, really, really easy. Using the scripts and some of the strategies we share, you don't have to make it hard for someone. And if you make it really, really easy, they're glad to do it. So the benefit of doing this, you get consistent results with better referrals. So you can have more ideal clients. If you want to have more ideal clients, this is the habit you want to create, not just for yourself, but you want to introduce it into your culture, in your marketing, and how you engage with your clients. And there is a cost of anything that you do. You got to put time to something. It takes time, it takes energy, but there's also a cost of not taking the time and energy to do something. And when it comes to building relationships and leveraging your network, I think the cost is far greater by not taking action. What do you see, Manny, for some of the challenges that if you're not really taking advantage of building relationships and authentically sharing your message more effectively?
Yeah. What we see a lot is, when things are going well, it's never a problem, right? Yeah, I'm doing great. But the challenge comes when maybe there's a slowdown in the economy, right? Because we all know that it takes a while to build relationships. And if you haven't built this system and you haven't been nurturing those relationships, if there's a change in how things are happening in the economy or in your industry, and you're trying to turn the boat quickly, it's not going to happen. And you can look back, for a lot of businesses when, in the construction industry in 2008, when the housing issues happened, a lot of those businesses were working off of referrals, but they weren't systematic with it. The ones that were able to make it through those tough times and come out on the other end were the ones that had systems in place so that they could build those relationships, stay with those pipelines of those strategic partners so that they could come out on the other side. The ones that were just waiting and hoping, they had no alternative to generate those referrals. So the cost of inaction can be dire if there's an economic drop, but also just in terms of your goals and where you are in your business and your industry. Every time that these other businesses are taking these steps to move forward, that's creating a gap between where you are and where your competition is.
The thing I would also mention is if you get a referral that's right and ready, people know that they need your help. That's great. We also have a training that shares how you can turn contacts into conversations, into consultations. And it's a skill that you can develop. And again, coaches, advisors, and consultants, this is something that you can do. And when you master this skill set, it's like client alchemy. And you do this because you could just help people see the things that they didn't see before you had that conversation with them. It's really how to be a powerful, transformative coach. Now, we've been talking about the referral systems. We said you needed the ideal customer profile, right? You need to clarify some goals, a scorecard, some scripts to follow, and a plan. If you go to growthamplifiers.com/challenge, opt into our free referral challenge, you'll be able to get all these assets. You'll be guided through the process. We walk through them. We share a screen. We give you downloads. We can give you an assessment. We give you even a tracker to track your progress. We do this free. There's nothing to buy. We simply are looking to share and build relationships with other people that want to grow their business and build more relationships. We want to build trust and peers, allies, amplifier allies out there in the world. So one of the things we said we would give you, we're going to put the link in where this video is being posted to our custom GPT for referrals. You can opt in and get a custom GPT if you don't know what a custom GPT is. Meaning, can you tell them what it is?
Yeah, so a custom GPT is an AI used with ChatGPT that has a prompt on the back end of it so that you don't have to think about how to set it up. It just asks you questions, you enter some basic information, and it's going to spit out what you need. So it's created for a specific application, in this case, for referrals, so that you're not having to think of all the different things that you may need to put into it. It's for one purpose and creating a specific optimized output for you.
Not only that, we have other custom GPTs that will share with you some of our best GPTs that we've been using to effectively use for marketing and building relationships with people to land into sales authentically. It's not about sleight of hand. It's not about trying to manipulate people. It's about authentically moving relationships forward. And it's an important part of how we grow as people. If we want to make a bigger impact, we want to serve more people, we need to be able to effectively communicate the value we provide and help people feel more comfortable and confident to take the actions they need to get their desired result. That's how we do it at the end of the day. So make sure that you opt in to get these free custom GPTs. And if you're interested on, could I create custom GPTs for my business and my clients? Yes, you can. And we'd be glad to share with you how you could do that if you're interested. So at the end of the day, let's kind of recap. We talked about the missing ingredient for not having consistent referrals is not having a referral system. And we talked about some of the things you can build in your referral system, but more importantly, we're giving you our access to how to do it, the tools and resources, all included in our challenge. It's a small 3-day challenge, total run time's like 90 minutes. We give our assessment, some scripts, a tracker, and it's easy to go through. You can use it for yourself. You can use it with your team, and we invite you to be a part of it. Manny, any thoughts that you'd like to share before we say sayonara?
Yeah, definitely. I would be remiss if we didn't ask for you to pass this along and share it with your network. So if you know a business owner that's doing good, but they want to do great, they're in the accounting industry, or maybe they're a service-based business owner, and they know that they can improve their referrals, please share this challenge with them. Sharing is caring, as Kenny likes to say, and you're serving your network. Let's bring all the ships up by the rising tide and help spread the word.
Yes. As you go through the challenge, we're trying to get it out to 100 advisors, consultants, and coaches, and just build relationships. So feel free to share it with those you think would be of value. Until next time, thank you for being the amplifier that you are. You have unique gifts, knowledge, and are making a positive impact on those you serve. So remember to take action. It's not about learning new things. You got to take new actions to achieve new results, and keep on amplifying. Thank you so much.